right, let's get down to business. So on my channel, I have uploaded a review of Mortal Kombat, the movie 2021. I gave it a 6. That was very, 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 very gracious of me. As a lot of people, I did my review prior to literally most of the reviews that are on right now. Like I pepped in my step and I got with it. The day it came out is the day I made the script, and the next day is the day I made the video. So I got it out there before I got to see a lot of reactions. And here we go with the incels, quarter of a man, losers with their big fat beards and big fat bellies. So we are going to have to believe that Cole Young was better for the role than Johnny Cage. Of course, a white man wasn't going to be in this at all. He's going to be replaced by the Asian people. There's enough Asian people in this movie. We don't need Cole Young. Shut up. Shut up, first of all. Shut up. Don't even speak. Why don't you freaking walk up some stairs, quarter of a man? No one wants to hear you. No one wants to hear your spawns. All right? So, yes, I'm upset that Johnny Cage wasn't there. No, I'm not going to throw out racial slurs because I'm mad. Like, it's not the actor's fault that he was replacing a character. Literally, it's probably some white executive producer before you start blaming Asian people. Just like they love to blame black people when black people show up in random places like Anne Boleyn. For some reason, we're choosing black woman for Anne Boleyn. Literally strange. We didn't ask for that, just saying. I'm pretty sure Asian people did not ask for Cole Young to be in this movie. Literally, this dude, everyone was talking about how the dude who played Cole Young looks like Takeda. I don't believe Takeda should have been in this movie because it accepts the canon that these people who should be ageless, that should not be getting older, because this is an outworld, in-world, everybody's going, like, really, literally no reason Katana should be getting older. She's like 1 billion years old. Edenia is different. No one should be getting older, and if anyone's going to get older, okay, fine. Let it be Johnny Cage and them, but don't let Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade have a kid, and that's just what I'm saying. I hate the fact that these last 2 Mortal Kombats has them having children and whatnot. Like, I could care less about all that. Like, literally get that out my game. Cole Young's actor should not have been Takeda. He literally could have been anyone else, though. So there's no reason to blame Asian people for Cole Young's inclusion. Like I said, probably some Anglo-Saxon of the Caucasus Mountain took Cole Young's character and was like, hey, this is going to be cool. People are going to like this. This is going to be great. Oh my gosh, I bet they were patting themselves on the back when they wrote Cole Young into the whole situation. So it's not his fault. I do hate on the character itself. I didn't say nothing about the actor. I didn't say anything about Asian people. It wasn't their fault. So shut up. Honestly, I'm so done. I'm done discussing that. So I really didn't go, like, it wasn't a rant. I didn't call it a rant because it's not a rant. I have tons of rants on my channel if you want to see some rant, but definitely that's not what it was. And as of right now, I'm like going into rant territory. I'm going to talk about what I would have done with this movie because y'all had literally potential. Y'all had nothing but the stars to reach for, and you reached for grass that was no more than 1 inch off the dirt. 1 inch out the dirt. Y'all reached for low-hanging fruit. Y'all reached for the lowest hanging of fruit. Literally, let's get down to it. So the opening, everyone is talking about how great the opening was, and it seemed like a different movie because it was a different movie. I didn't talk about this in my review, but the movie is basically put in 3 different situations. So the first one is literally the beginning part and the last part about Scorpion and Sub-Zero's fight. And then I think it's really interesting how Cole Young is kind of just in the middle, like kind of in the way of Scorpion and Sub-Zero fighting at the end. I think that's pretty hilarious. I think it's sad because you wasted so much money on that. You wasted so much money on Cole Young, the character. The next portion of the movie is basically the Mortal Kombat characters. And then the third is Cole Young. So you have three things going on and you really don't know which one you want to do. Like I said this before in another video, the whole thing with the whole putting Jax in there with Sonya immediately and then separating them didn't work out. That's not cool. Didn't make any sense. You literally have over 10 games to get a plot from, and you decided to get the plot out of your anus. You decided that. That's what you decided. You have literally 97 plus characters to choose from, and then you choose the character once again out of your anus. You choose Cole Young. Literally, I have counted multiple people who could have replaced him in the situation. I honestly think the first thing you should do in the sequel is kill Cole Young. That's the first thing you should do. The first thing. And if you don't, no one's going to watch this. You have to show it in the preview of the movie, and it can't just be a fake out. He has to die dead because no one wants him here. This Mortal Kombat cinematic universe should have been a series. There's far too much in the canon. Like I said, like from the very beginning, there weren't that many characters in the beginning. But if we're gonna go through all the games from 1 to now, from 1 to 11, like I do believe you should choose the plots. But even then, with each ending, each character winning the game, there was a different ending. How long ago did they make this? And they even had more imagination with where the story could go. If this movie wasn't about the Lin Kuei versus the Shirai Ryu, then no matter who the main character is, the movie should not have started with that. Like I said in the other video, why are we watching the Lin Kuei battle? It's not even, we don't even get, from what I saw, if you weren't making this for the fans, which you obviously weren't, based on many things, they don't know the history between those people, and they don't know that y'all kind of like switched their alliances and allegiances. Sub-Zero has always been on the good guy's side, and even when he was like fighting for himself, he still like fought for better than Scorpion is a villain usually. He may be his own agent, but like come on, like he's on the bad side. You would definitely not have started. You should have started this. We didn't even know about the Lin Kuei and whatnot. People who are coming off the street, not knowing about Mortal Kombat, don't know about Sub-Zero and Scorpion's heated disagreements. It has nothing to do with, it's like, yeah, he killed his family, but that's like the last thing he did. They were already fighting. Just saying. The Lin Kuei and the Shirai Ryu were already fighting each other. They were already fighting each other. So I don't understand why we didn't get like a whole series about that, and then leading up to Scorpion turning into Scorpion, you know? And then Scorpion killing Sub-Zero, and then Sub-Zero turning into Noob Saibot, and then Sub-Zero's brother coming in and changing his name to Sub-Zero. Like, you need better lorists on your team or informationalists, something to help you out. A movie should never feel like it's specifically for an audience to go, ooh, ah, and that's a lot of what I got. I didn't get a movie. I got a lot of oohs and ahs. Y'all are really turning. I heard someone talk about like the Fast and Furious movies and how they're kind of doing this thing where it's just like we're just expecting things and doing a checklist of what we're expecting from this movie. And I think that's what y'all did. That's why Kitana's fans are in the background and she's not in the movie. That's why you did the fake out with Kano's eye with Reptile, because we knew that he was eventually going to have an implant in his eye. But except no, because you subverted our expectations D&D style, Game of Thrones style, and did it incorrectly and gave him some strange superpower because he asked for an egg roll. Unacceptable. So let me just get to the characters, because I'm going to do this and then I'm going to be done. I'm going to rant a little bit more about the characters than I did in my review, because my review was supposed to be like a serious critique of this movie. Because a lot of people are just doing the rant and they're not really giving what they could have done better. They're just like, oh, I'm upset at this, I'm upset at that. So I actually give constructive criticism. My rants do usually have constructive criticism, but I usually go off the rails on some things that are like, it's just my opinion. So let's get started. Raiden had no presence, like I said, giving the incels plenty of ammunition. I already saw online, just along with all those people blaming Asian people for the fact that Johnny Cage isn't in this movie. They're also talking about, I haven't seen anyone talk about Melina, by the way. I haven't seen anyone talk about Melina being black, because of course she's ugly and disgusting. They wouldn't care about a black woman being ugly and disgusting. So it's no problem for them. But honestly, I really liked the girl's character, but I'll talk about Melina when we get to Melina. Raiden was racially correct. His ethnicity was correct. And people had a field day. I saw on Twitter tons of people talking about, you can't just put an Asian person there and expect it to work. You need to actually have criteria, like you have to fit the bill. And yeah, you have to fit the freaking bill. A lot of people don't fit the freaking bill. Sonya didn't really fit the freaking bill. But y'all aren't really talking about Sonya. You're talking about how Raiden's trash because he was Asian. And it wasn't because he was Asian. It was because he was the wrong actor casted. That's it. It's not about him being Asian. Find another Asian guy. Find a taller Asian guy. Find someone who has better presence than this man, because he really just sat there. And if it wasn't for the fact that his eyes were glowing, I wouldn't have thought he was Raiden at all. He needed more presence. Everyone needed more presence to keep up with Kano. If everyone had the same amount of presence of Kano, a lot of people would have been giving higher ratings than 7. People are barely skimming the bar at 4 right now. At 4. For some reason, I still think it's a 6, maybe a 5, maybe a 5. But I would still stick at a 6. I would keep that 6. And I have a bunch of reasons why. And go watch my video if you'd like to see. So speaking of Sonya, let's talk about Sonya and Jax. Their past is literally just summed up in an old picture. That was unacceptable. Like I said, this whole situation should have been a series, a mini-series, limited series, whatever you had to freaking do to get the information out there prior to making a movie. The movie should have been the tournament. The series should have been setting up for the tournament. Why are we setting up with movies? If in hindsight I knew that Endgame was going to happen, and every movie was set up for Endgame, and that was the sole purpose of each Marvel movie, I wouldn't have watched it, because it's not supposed to be set up for other movies. We should not be buying for a promise. Stop making us buy for promises. That's kind of why I'm kind of upset at Resident Evil Village right now, because we're getting sold a promise. We're getting sold a promise that they're going to return back to their roots. And all I see is just old trinkets and what are you buying references when I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for that. And that's the next topic I'll talk about. I'll talk about Resident Evil after Mortal Kombat, but we're going to talk about Mortal Kombat right now, y'all. Sonya and Jax's passed way too fast. And then for some reason, Kano was with Sonya at the same time. Like, y'all didn't have to do them there. Sonya and Jax should have had their own mini-series episodes. Maybe, let's just say each series was like 4 episodes, or each person got 4 episodes, and Jax and Sonya could have shared those episodes. And Kano could have been with his own crowd. Like, y'all know enough that he is in the Black Dragon, but y'all don't know enough that he wouldn't have gotten caught. If he was with the Black Dragon, why would he be by himself? Why wouldn't he be with the Black Dragon? Why would he? So the series that I was saying y'all should have made would have allowed us to understand, okay, maybe he wasn't with them because XYZ. Maybe they did something. Maybe they overthrew. Like, Cabal talks a big game about how, oh, he did this to me, but we don't see what he did. Show don't tell. Huh? Is this foreign to you? Do you not know what this is? Y'all used Cabal's current costume, but Liu Kang's old outfit, so I know exactly why y'all played this whole hot potato game with the timeline, because you saw Mortal Kombat 11 and you were like, okay, so let's just do this and that. And even, okay, I think it's interesting that you're using Cabal's new outfit and saying, Cabal, oh, this is what you did to me, Kano, but you're gonna have him killed the exact same, like he gets killed by flames. So why didn't you just have Cabal be pre-flamed and be like the way he is without his iron lung? Why didn't you just let him be regular? Because honestly, to be honest, if I didn't take away the hooks, I'll wait for you to take away the hooks from his picture. Does he or does he not? Especially when juxtaposed next to the ice of Sub-Zero, does he not look like Cyber Sub-Zero? Cabal's outfit was great, but it wasn't fantastic. It looked far too big in the head to look like Cabal. Cabal's best outfit was when he was introduced in 3. So maybe y'all's informationalist or lorist, whoever's, if you actually even have someone that cares about the game on your team and not just money grabbing fools, y'all should probably pick up a PlayStation controller and start playing some games. Or hire an intern, or you don't hire interns, grab an intern off the street and freaking force labor on them and get them to go on YouTube and actually look up some videos about these games before you make a movie. How about that? You don't even care about the history, so don't use that excuse. Like, don't use, oh, well, we were just trying to keep to canon. No, you weren't. If you were trying to keep to canon, then Cabal would be pre-flames right now. Okay, yeah, you can say, one time in one comic it said that Kano did that. But guess what? In Mortal Kombat 9, did he or did he not get burnt up by some random creature? And then Kano saved him. He didn't even know Kano. He was a police officer, supposedly, with Stryker. And again, why is Stryker not in this movie? Stryker could have been a villain because guess what? He's a cop. He says police brutality at the end of his fatalities. Like, he can be a villain. He could be a hero. He could have started out as a hero. He could have been a villain. But you guys don't have imagination. No imagination. Y'all don't even know the history. Y'all don't even know what you're doing. You're just like, money, 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 money. You're like stupid freaking, like Mr. Krabs. Greedy. Reptile should have been a human, like I said a while ago. Especially considering you're just killing off characters anyway. Like, this is an incomplete movie. In hindsight, it's an incomplete movie. This isn't a movie. It's incomplete. Stop saying, there's a part 2 and da-da-da-da. You shouldn't, like, Harry Potter didn't do Harry Potter, like, part 1. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, part 1, part 2 was at the dead last. And yeah, that was to push it to add more content. But there was a lot of content that they cut out of Harry Potter. Reptile literally has nowhere to go from here. So what, is he going to come back as a human now? Is that what we're supposed to expect? He could have been a reptile afterwards. Kung Lao was as good as he could have ever been in this movie. Until he went out like a chump, getting strangled. When Shang Tsung knows how to fight. Shang Tsung, I repeat, Shang Tsung knows how to fight. So why was he just sitting there? He's a sorcerer, but he will slap a hoe. I don't understand why you guys are playing games and not just actually using your brain for 2 seconds and figuring out, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe we should actually do what needs to be done and actually do something that's good in life instead of just putting things in for money grabs. Oh my goodness. Is that Katana's fan? Oh my gosh. That's so great. Is that Shao Kahn? Even though Shao Kahn shouldn't be here yet, he wasn't Kahn until later. Oh, wow. Where's Sindel? Where's Sindel? Why didn't we go to Edenia? Why was Melina in this? Melina was only born after the acknowledgement of Katana. Why is Melina in this? I love Melina. I love Melina. She was my main for a very long time until they cut her out of the game and then brought her back. And I haven't bought her yet because it's like $5.99. I'm not going to pay that much for one character. Sorry. Why was Melina in this movie? Let me give you a little lore nugget because obviously you don't know. So Shang Tsung created Melina in the flesh pits. She was born and had her own ambition. She called no one master. By the way, she called no one master. The moment she was created, she got up off her butt and started fighting. And she was not calling no one master. She wanted her own. She went out wanting her own crown. She has a whole psychosis. Y'all did none of that because Katana's not here. Melina without Katana makes no sense. She was made in her image with Tarkatan blood. And you obviously don't know the Tarkatans because they're not in this either. Where's Baraka? Why did you have Ryuko here when Baraka could have just very well did the same thing? If you were going to have Melina in here, why isn't Baraka in this movie? Y'all make me sick. For the love of everything that's holy. Melina, like I said, had her own separate goals. And then Melina and Ryuko are in the same movie and there's zero banter between them. They literally hate each other. She hates him because he's one of the only guys that doesn't fall over her body and doesn't find her attractive. And a lot of people, they make fun of it, but it's canon that she can seduce almost anyone. Ryuko is one of those people that she cannot seduce. It's canon. That's just what it is. That's history for you. Little history note. Ryuko and Melina hate each other. They would not be serving the same quote unquote master, and she wouldn't be serving no master anyway, but whatever. Tanya should have been a villain or a warrior. I don't know, y'all had unlimited power at this point, unlimited power to put whoever you wanted in this movie, but you decided to just drop the freaking ball, and that's why everyone's talking about they hate it. So congratulations. I don't care how many people watched it when it popped up. You're not going to get the same amount of people watching that too because you literally just said we're setting up for another movie. I'm not going to pay for a movie and then watch the movie and then tune in next time. That's what shows are for. That's what TV 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 shows are for. And like I said, I talked about the Marvel Universe. They're kind of doing the setup now, but they're also doing series. They're also doing series. And they also have had movies upon movies upon movies that actually had a beginning, middle, and end on their own. You don't have to watch the rest of them to understand Captain America. You don't have to watch the rest of them to understand Iron Man. You don't have to watch the rest of them to understand who the Incredible Hulk is. You didn't have to tune in next time to see who Bruce Banner was. You're missing key components to this movie that makes it a complete movie. It's just incomplete at this point. The only reason why I gave it a 6 is because there were a lot of things and I saw there was a lot of time taken into the choreography, except when it was CGI and worthless. When it was Goro, it was worthless. Just saying, when it was Reptile, it was worthless. It meant nothing. It means nothing to me. It means nothing to anyone who watched it. No one thought it was cool. It was not cool. It was CGI bullcrap that no one wanted to see. We didn't come here to see no CGI bullcrap creature. We want to see people fight. And that's what I came here to see. But I was highly more generous with my rating than every single other person that has rated it thus far. But I'm getting my blood pressure up. I have to stop talking about this. That's all I had to say. That was my last 2 cents of that.